Good morning, students. This is in continuation with the chapter Reaching the Age of Adolescence. Last class, I was explaining to you with respect to what are the changes that is seen during puberty. Now, in continuation with that, one of the point I had explained, there is change in voice. In boys, it is seen adolescent boys, because of the growth of the larynx, their voice becomes hoarse or rough, and this is known as breaking or cracking of voice. You might be asked for 1 mark. What is breaking or cracking of voice? This is seen because of the growth of the larynx. However, this change is temporary. This is not a permanent change that is seen. This is just for a while, and the voice becomes normal very soon. Next one is increased activity of sweat and oil glands. Now, during puberty, there is an increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland. When I say sebaceous gland, it is nothing but oil glands. It becomes overreactive. That's why usually during adolescence, lot of pimple and acne are seen. Acne are nothing but the severe form of pimple, and also there is increased activity of sweat gland, and that leads to body odor also. Many adolescents get acne and pimples because of the increased activity of these glands. This also causes increased sweating and leads to body odor. So, because of the overactivity of sweat glands and the oil glands, we see there is a lot of adolescents get a lot of pimple and acne and also body odor. Development of sex organs. The reproductive organs in boys and girls develop fully at puberty. At the onset of puberty in boys, the sex hormone testosterone is released by the testes. Now the sex organs, that is testis and penis, develop completely and start sperm production. So at the onset of puberty, we see the reproductive structures are very well developed and there is sperm production that is seen. In girls, the sex hormones estrogen and progesterone are released from the ovaries. As a result, ovaries grow and production of ova begins. And the female sex hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Now, as the hormones are released, what happens? The production of the egg begins. Only 1 egg is released every month. Reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. Adolescents become more independent than before. Due to the various physical changes taking place in the bodies, teenagers may become self-conscious. There are a lot of emotional and physical changes that is happening within an individual, and the individual itself is sometimes confused and becomes really conscious about himself or herself during this period. Intellectual development takes place and they spend considerable time in thinking, planning, exchanging views and ideas with others. So during this stage, intellectual development is seen. So usually it is seen during this period. They are seen exchanging their views, putting forth their thought process, planning, thinking something about a topic or a concept. Some adolescents develop a sense of insecurity due to changes in their body and mind and may experience mood swing. Because of the lot of changes that is going through, the individual may experience mood swings. Sexual maturity in boys and girls cause them to get attracted towards the opposite sex. It is important to make the teenagers, that is adolescents, realize that there is no reason to feel insecure and these changes are a natural part of growing up. So because of the lot of changes, an individual gets really insecure, there are mood swings, they might get irritated, but it is important for the teenagers to understand that and to realize that all these things are normal and it is a natural part of growing up. Role of pituitary gland in initiating reproductive function. Pituitary stimulates testes and ovaries to release testosterone in males and estrogen in female. The hormones are released in the bloodstream and reach different parts of the body, that is nothing but the target site. Now, reproductive phase in females. Reproductive age in female begins at puberty at around 10 to 12 years of age. During this particular period, the ovaries release ova or eggs. One matured ovum is released every month and carried to the fallopian tube and then to the uterus. So every month one egg is being released from the ovary and that is carried to the fallopian tube, and in the fallopian tube, if the sperm reaches the fallopian tube, then there is fertilization. Otherwise, the unfertilized egg, it will just move on to the uterus. The release of the egg from the ovary is called ovulation. Again, for 1 mark, important question. What is ovulation? The release of the egg from the ovary is called ovulation. The hormones estrogen and progesterone are also released by the ovaries. As a result, the wall of the uterus becomes thick and prepares itself to receive the fertilized egg. So, during this time, the uterus is becoming thick. And why is it becoming thick? So that it can receive the fertilized egg, so that it can supply enough nourishment to it. That's why the uterine lining becomes thick. If the egg is fertilized, it results in pregnancy and zygote formation. Then the zygotes get embedded in the uterus for further growth. So if fertilization takes place, it results in pregnancy. Then the zygote, which is a single cell, it gets embedded in the uterus and slowly the further development continues. Now, stages of menstrual cycle. Now, what happens? Suppose if the egg is not fertilized. If the egg is not fertilized, it leads to what is known as menstruation. Now, there are various stages of menstrual cycle. First one is maturation of the egg. Then the release of the egg from the ovary, and it is called ovulation. Now, as the egg is released, the uterine lining is becoming thick. Now, suppose if the fertilization does not take place, okay, then there is a breakdown of uterine wall if pregnancy does not occur. The menstrual cycle is usually of 28 to 30 days. The ovulation takes place in the middle of the menstrual cycle. So, the menstrual cycle, these are the various stages of menstrual cycle. This takes about 28 to 30 days. And ovulation takes place somewhere in the middle of the menstrual cycle, might be on 14th day or the 15th day. We see that ovulation is taking place. The first menstrual flow that begins at puberty is known as menarche. Now, the very first menstrual flow at the onset of puberty is nothing but menarche. And the menstrual cycle or periods may be irregular initially, but they become regular after some time. So, initially, the onset of puberty, we see that the menstrual cycle begins. It might be irregular in the beginning, but slowly it becomes regular. At around 45 to 50 years of age, The female loses her ability to reproduce. It occurs as her menstrual cycle stops. This is known as menopause. Now, at the age of 45 to 50 years, the menstrual cycle stops. So once the menstrual cycle stops, that is known as menopause. Determination of sex of a baby. The sex of the baby is determined by the nature of gametes that fuse to form the zygote. Now I've told you gametes are nothing but the sex cells, okay, and these gametes fuse to give rise to zygote. Zygote is single cell. Now inside the nucleus of the cells are chromosome. Now if you look at the structure of the cell, okay, I'm drawing an animal cell. So over here, this is a nucleus, and inside the nucleus you have the presence of rod shaped structure called as chromosomes. First, at the time of cell division, okay, initially when you look at the nucleus you can see a thread like structure. This is known as chromatin, and at the time of cell division this gets converted into a rod shaped structure called as chromosomes. So inside the nucleus you have chromosome, and this chromosome is seen at the time of cell division. The chromatin is getting converted to chromosome at the time of cell division. Now there are totally 46 chromosomes in every human cell. You take every human cell, it has got 46 chromosomes. Now, out of this, 2 out of these are sex chromosome. So, out of 46, we see 2 chromosomes. Okay, out of this, just 2 chromosomes are sex chromosomes. That determines the sex of an individual. Now, the rest of the chromosomes are known as, they are the... might be I will put it in simple words. Rest of the chromosomes are responsible for the various physical characteristics or trait. The sex determination of an individual is because of these 2 chromosomes. Now, in females, it is seen the females have X and X chromosome, whereas in males it is X and Y. Okay, in females it is X and X chromosome, and in males it is X and Y. So at the time of reproduction, what happens is this 46 chromosome is there, no? At the time of reproduction, listen carefully, at the time of reproduction, the 46 chromosome just get converted to 23. There is a reduction division that is happening. Reduction division that is happening at the time of reproduction. So now, so in this one, among this 23, just one of the chromosome is sex chromosome. Okay, one of the chromosome is the sex chromosome. Now, here, this is at the time of reproduction. Now, suppose one of the gamete, okay, that is the female gamete is X, and the sperm that fuses with it is also X. Then the resultant zygote, the resultant product will be X and X. Okay, so this will be a female child. Suppose if the egg is X and the sperm is Y, then it will be X and Y. The resultant child will be male. Remember, the sex is determined by the 2 chromosomes. Okay, if it is X and X, it is a girl. If it is X and Y, it is a boy. And it is seen that at the time of sexual reproduction, we see in human beings the chromosome number is reduced to half, that is 23. Okay. And this is how the fusion takes place. One of the sperm will be X and the egg, one of the egg will be X, and both of them fuse to give rise to X and X. And the egg is X, and whereas the sperm is Y, then the resultant product will be xy.